Looking at very closely is Fortis Healthcare. That stock has been on a tear ever since the news came out that SRL will be demerged, and that way they will monetize their stake. Details of that demerger will be announced tomorrow, but Varinder has picked up some scoop on what the possible contours of this demerger will be. Varinder, take it away.
Well, it's an important day for Fortis shareholders tomorrow, and as the company has mentioned earlier as well, that August 19th is the date when the contours of the demerger of SRL diagnostic business will be shared. Now, why this is important is clearly, if you go back and see most of the analysts report on the street, they believe that SRL diagnostic should be valued anywhere between 50 to 60 rupees per share. Macquarie clearly mentioned that the demerger would unlock rupees 60 per share value for Fortis shareholders. Now, remember, when we first covered this story, the market cap of Fortis was nearly 7,500 crores. The stock has already moved to nearly 9,000 crores market cap. SRL, if you have to value, and that's a big question, people are assuming, according to their analysis, that SRL diagnostic value could be anywhere between 5,000 crore to 6,000 crore. 60% what we understand could be the holding of the non-promoters in SRL diagnostic business, which means that you have to give value of 60. So if you are a shareholder in Fortis with a market cap of 9,000 crores, you will get around 60% of the eventual company, which is nearly 3,000 crores additional. So the combined market cap, if you have to go by this analysis, it works out to be anywhere between 11,500 crores to 12,000 crores. So there is still on the table if you are a investor in Fortis, and people have been accumulating in cash. 2-3 important things which I clearly want to mention here is, one, the stock has already run up, so there could be profit booking when the deal is announced, but it also depends on the swap ratio which will be there. Eventually, the entire holding of this will be very important, whether the company goes ahead and demerges SRL Diagnostic from Fortis, listed separately, or it carves out SRL Diagnostic and eventually demerge into a separate listed entity. But importantly, if you are a shareholder of Fortis, what do you get of SRL Diagnostic? If the ratio comes 1:1, that is a clear positive for Fortis shareholders. That is two. Keep in also mind what kind of valuation on the street people are assuming for SRL Diagnostic. In the long run, this of course is a big trigger for Fortis shareholders. But in the short term, since the stock has run up, so you need to be a bit cagey about it. But tomorrow, the swap ratio and the way the deal will be structured will be very important.
All right, Varinder, thanks.